Automate to accelerate progress. In this webinar, we are going to cover some practical examples of how you can use E2TallySoft. This is a brief introduction about myself. I'm a CA with more than 35 years of experience, and I have been specializing in information technology areas. And the last 2 decades, I've been primarily working on data analytics. This is a vision, mission of a company. This is our strategy. We believe in harnessing the power of technology to empower CES. And this is primarily our approach. We would like to ensure that CES are able to deploy systems and solutions for scaling up services. And that's where we are working on, so that you can serve your clients in shorter time with greater value addition and scale up higher by higher use of technology. Now, this is what is the new caption which I made. Our solutions are made for the new age digital auditor. We know now it's important that we have to be a new age, which means we should know how to use technology. And that's what makes us a digital auditor. And that's what is going to enable us to future-proof our career and to accelerate our growth and success. This is just a quick problem statement. We know that in Tally, we can definitely maintain accounts quite well. It is quite a very simple and very powerful package. But if you'd like to automate the process of inputting the masters and data into Tally, we know that manually you have to go and enter the data. This is where we provide this automated solution. So the challenge is there a faster and easier way for creating masters and entering the transactions in Tally? The data exported from Tally to Excel is not properly formatted, and that's another challenge we face. This is another thing we provide. You not only import data from Excel to Tally, we also provide the option for you to export data from Tally to Excel in a structured format so that you can do analysis. This is the bottom line as far as the E2TallySoft is concerned. This provides you an automated solution. It's an add-in software to MS Excel for importing the masters and transactions of accounting, inventory, and cost center. Today, I'm going to show you examples of how you can import the masters and transactions. And from MS Excel in structured format you can do. I'm also going to share you some practical case studies, how many of our clients are using it with some practical examples. So in short, E2TallySoft is an automated conversion. It helps you to import information of the masters and data from MS Excel to Tally in a few clicks. Who could be the users? Any user of Tally software, whether they're in accounting or CA profession or the business owners, can use the power of E2TallySoft. How to use? It's very simple. You need to decide what is the data or the masters you want to import. Select that particular template, add the data in that master or data, and then you import it into Tally. And this is what helps you. You can automate the importing of masters and vouchers from Excel to Tally. And not only that, I said you can also do the reverse way. You can export masters and vouchers from Tally to Excel in a structured format. These are the 7 key features of E2TallySoft. I'll show you in a few minutes how, let's say, about 2,000 or 3,000 entries can be converted from an Excel template into Tally voucher format and imported into Tally. You can import masters. There are some companies who have got, let's say, 2,000 masters. They're shifting from Oracle Financials to E2TallySoft. So they're using E2TallySoft for the purpose of importing the masters which are taken from Oracle Financials to Tally. You can also, as I said, export the masters or the vouchers or the reports from Tally to Excel. You can automate the documentation, and there is an automatic log facility which is available. You can generate specific company info, statistics, etc. There are also various features for validating patterns of PAN, TAN, GSTN, and you can also export trial balance in a very structured manner. How to use E2TallySoft? These are 4 steps. Open Tally, select the company and the period for which you want to import the data. Open MS Excel and click on the tab of the E2TallySoft. Decide which is the function you want to use. For example, you want to import the masters of accounting and inventory. You can pick up the specific template. This comes with the sample data filled in, or it also comes with just the template where you can add the data. And then you can review the data, enter the data in that, review and confirm if the data is correct and complete. And then you are ready to go. You can import in Tally. Once you import in Tally, you confirm whether the data is completely imported. So what can you do with E2TallySoft? So what I'll do is I'll give you a quick walkthrough of the menus and functions with the brief description so that you get an idea. Then we'll get into specific demo. Now, if you look at the specific features, let me come back to Excel. There is something open in the background. Let me close this guy. Yeah. Now, this is how the E2TallySoft menu looks like. So if you see, we have the configure panel, profile, documents, templates, validate, import to Tally, export to import, which means you can export from Tally to XML or Excel format and import it again into Tally after updating as you want. We also got convert to vouchers, which is the most important feature, which is extensively used by the users, where we provide different formats of sales, purchases, services, bank statement, receipt payments, and salaries. And not only that, we also got a map vouchers where the data can be provided by the user in any format they want, and we can convert it in the specific format which is required and then import. You can also import data from Tally, which is the reverse way, where I can import the daybook transactions from Tally to Excel, or it could be ledger vouchers, cash transactions, bank transactions. I can import. I can also import the sales registers from Tally. Now, if you see here, we can also import the trial balance. We can also import the sales, etc.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
So suppose I want to create a new company. I've created a new company in Tally where data isn't entered at all.
Yeah.
So can I create the masters from the Excel, from the E2TallySoft?
In fact, that is the first demo I'm going to give.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to pick up a company where you got accounting and inventory, and I'm going to show you how that can be done. Okay, so let me get started right away in that case. Let's say I got Tally. I'm opening Tally now. So this can be, as I said, used for a company which is already existing, or you can use it for a new company. Now I'm going to create a new company. Create a company. Let's call it as demo October 8. Okay, now in this case, I got data pertaining to 1419, which I want to import. So I'm going to create the company from 1419. This is how I create the company. Okay, so I've created the company. Now I'll shut the company which was earlier available. Now this is the company. Now if you look at the data, what is available here? If you go to DSS, now you see there is no data. We are going to default groups and default ledgers, and there are default voucher types, and there is a currency type which is available in Tally. Now if you look at, let's say, the balance sheet, you will find nothing here. If you look at the profit and loss account, there is nothing here. If you look at the trial balance, I don't have anything here. Okay, now with this, now I'm going to start with the first phase, which is I've got this data. I would like to I've created this new company and I want to import the masters. Where do I have the sample data? I've got this masters here. If you see in the templates, I've got the masters. I say import and I want to pick up accounting, solely accounting. I'm going to pick up accounting. In this case, it's inventories. So I'm going to pick up the inventories. I can get two formats. One is ready to fill, which means it is a blank format which will be there, or sample data, which means we already got sample data which you want to use. So in this case, I have picked up the data, which the file which has got the standard data. It says, do you want to open? I say yes. Now this is the data I have got here. If you see here, this is the masters. How many transactions there? About 258 rows are there. Okay, now you have to provide the data in this template. Now if you see here, ledger name and parent are given in red color, which means these are the mandatory features which are required in Tally. You can import with the opening balances. And when you give the opening balance, you have to give whether it's a debit or a credit. Now let's just check whether the debit and credit Tally. I can also give as minus or plus. Now I'll just check whether what is important is to ensure that the data is correct and complete. Now I've got this data. See, in this case, in Tally, debit is taken as minus. I've given this particular data as minus. If you look at the total, it is about 181,015. 01588. I'm just going to go and change it to credit. This also should be same. Okay, so it means now we find that the debit and the credit tallies, and there are various other parameters that have to be given for each of the accounts. If I want to give an alias, I can give the alias. I can also enter the GSTN number for those particular accounts which is applicable, especially for the purchase or the sales, sundry tasks and creditors. I can give the GST registration type. How is the cost center enabled address? All these are fields which are available. If you want, you have the data, you can enter the data. Or if you don't have the data right now, you can import with the mandatory data, and later on you can use the alter option. Now let me show you that also. This is another unique feature which is there in our software. You can use the alter option and you can import only the specific fields which you want to import. Right, now I've got this masters. What I'm going to show you is how can I import this masters into Tally. It's very simple. I can also validate. What is meant by validate? Which means it is check in Tally whether these masters and parents are available. In this case, this is a new company. There's no meaning in doing the validation. So I'm going to directly say import masters. So now by default, it's already found out that these are the sheets which are available. So if you see here, I've got for accounting with inventory, these are the multiple sheets which I need to have. Let me quickly walk you through. See, I have the groups. First, I need to import the groups. Okay, so I have groups will give you the hierarchy and it will connect with the primary group which is there in Tally. And then I have got the ledgers. I've got the voucher types, and then I got the units, go downs. Like that, I got multiple things which has to be imported. Now I'm going to go back to the groups and say I want to import this. Now just see how simple and quick you can do this. I've just got this. If this data had cost centers or bill wise, that also would have come. So in this case, I'm just going to say okay. Now it gives a message. Currently, the following company is open in Tally. Please take backup. We always suggest that you should take a backup just to be on the safer side, because something while importing the power goes or something crashes. Now the data could be half complete. So it's better that you have a copy of the data. I say okay. Now you see it started importing the masters. Now it starts giving the messages. Groups have been created. Okay, now importing the ledgers. Now see 256 ledgers have been created. Now voucher types 22 have been created. Now it's creating the go downs, the stock groups, the stock categories, the stock items, currencies. Now it gives you a beautiful summary of what all data have been imported. Now you want to save the statistics. So you want to save the statistics, you say yes. It'll add one more sheet called statistics, where it will have the details of what all have been imported inside Tally. Now it is giving a message that this data is imported inside Tally. Now I'm not sure whether it's actually done. So I'm going to go to Tally and check whether this data is actually imported. So I go to Tally. Now I come to the gateway of Tally and give D, yes, yes. Now this gives me the statistics. Now if you see here, the masters, groups 69 are there, ledgers 258, stock groups 9, stock items. Now if I want to get inside this, I can see the details. I click here. I know these are not available. Now these are all have been created. Now similarly, ledgers, if you see, all the ledgers we had have been created. Stock groups, these are stock groups which are created. Similarly, we have got the stock items. And then we have the voucher types. Most of the case, in the case of voucher types, I think the default voucher types are there. It will be taken. So here you find there is a small error. I think voucher type 2 also has come, which is a mistake. Units and then currencies. These are the mandatory data. Now I want to see, I imported with the opening balance, whether the opening balance has come. I go to balance sheet. Now you see, if I click on detailed, I should be able to get the complete balance sheet here. So it means include the opening balances, this has come. Okay, now let's say, what about the profit and loss account? In the profit and loss account, I'll have only the opening stock and the closing stock. The same amount is taken as the closing stock. Now let me see the trial balance. Now if I go to the detailed trial balance, so you see all the transactions which are there in the opening balance have been imported in one shot. Okay, this is how you can import the data from Excel template to Tally in one shot. This we have looked at the masters. Now I'll take you to the next step where we are going to import the transactions. Okay, are we clear? So we had this data, we have imported the masters. Now, if you see the transactions, There are no transactions in this. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, now I'm going to import the transactions. For the transactions also, for your practice, we have kept the sample data here. You go to templates, click vouchers and select inventories. Here also you got two formats. One is with the sample data with the ready to fill. So if you want to see ready to fill, what you can do is it will give you a blank template in which you can add your data. So if you see, we have given first give the guidelines and then we have the inventories to vouchers. These are all the fields in which the vouchers have to be created. Okay, now see, these are all the fields in which the vouchers are to be given. So in Tally, when you want to push data inside Tally, this is the data it expects. But if you look at the data which is there in columns which are highlighted in red, which means these are mandatory data which Tally expects. So I'm not going to go through this. What I would like to do is I'd like to pick up the data which has got filled in data so that I can import. Now I'll give a message because I'm trying to import some blank. So I'll go to masters and then in this vouchers and I say I pick up sample data. I say inventory. We already kept the sample data for cost centers, bill wise, everything. Okay, because I imported the masters, I'm going to do it for the masters of inventory. I'm going to import transactions of inventories. I say open. Yeah, I say yes. Now you see, first read the guidelines. It says clearly what is to be done. Validate vouchers. We also do a lot of validation while importing the vouchers. Okay, now let's come to the inventory vouchers. Now, if you look at the inventory vouchers, now we have got these are all the transactions where the data has been populated. Okay, each of the transaction has got a unique transaction ID. If you look at transaction ID 1, okay, so this is the debit and this is the credit. So 51,420 is the debit. Corresponding, you have got the transportation, packing, CST and interstate. Okay, like that, there are so many transactions. Let's see how many rows we have. We have about 676 rows and about 154 transactions. Okay, now this is how the data has to be available. So we have got the ledger stock item. You have to follow the pattern in which the data is given. You also have the party name, all this data. You can give whatever data is available. The important thing I said, the mandatory fields have to be given. So if it is an inventory, now if it has to populate inventory, you have to give the item name, the quantity, the rate, etc. And also you have to give which is the ledger which will be impacted. Right, now we are ready to import. How do I import? Yeah.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Suppose I want to create a new ledger which isn't available, of which the ledger name isn't in Tally data. So can I create a new one at this process?
Yes, no, in this process you can't do. I'll show you what will happen in this case. I'll first finish this, I'll come to that point. Okay. Now when I come to eToTallySoft, first thing it's going to do, let's say you got ledgers, masters here, which are not available inside Tally, correct? So in that case, what I do is, when I do the validation of the vouchers, what it is going to do is it's going to Tally. Now, for example, let's do the validation. Now here, I'm going to do the validation. So it says, what is that you want to validate with? When I say input data, what it is going to do is, it is going to do validation of this particular data and check whether debit and credit tally, the voucher numbers are unique. All those types of tests are performed here and give a message that the data is okay. Now let's come to the next validation, which is validate with Tally data. Now this is where it's going to verify whether the Tally data, whether the data is available inside Tally. Okay, when I say okay, it's going to verify with the Tally data for all the ledger masters whether these are available or not. See, it says validating. Now based on that, it creates a summary and it says validation summary. If you see here, it says all records are valid, debit, credit, holds Tally. Okay, and then if you see the second validation we did, now this is the validation it does. Now ledgers in Tally, all records are valid, voucher types in Tally, duplicate vouchers. Like that, it gives you the validation summary. Now for the purpose of testing, let's say you want to check this. You want to see, let's say I'm going to just change for the purpose of testing. Yeah, I want to remove this validation summary. Now I have this inventory vouchers. I'm going to just change one name. I'm going to add one name which is not there. Let's say I'm going to make it as computer factory, which is not there in Tally. Now if I just change this data, now when I say validate, okay, I've saved this. When I say validate, it should be able to tell me, now let me go to Tally and see whether the computer factory is available. When I go to DAL, computer factory, there's no computer factory here. Okay, now let's see when I want to import validate, what does it say? Now I'm going to say validate vouchers. with tally data. Now it's going to do the validation. Okay, I say okay. It's validating the vouchers. Now you should be able to tell me that this validating vouchers, it should tell me that this particular voucher is not available. Okay, now let me see. Okay, let me keep this guy here for the time being. See, it says ledgers tally. It also gives the ledgers from tally so that you can use it for comparison. Okay, inventory computer factory. See here, given name ledger. This is says inventory voucher ledgers not available, which means this ledger is not available inside tally. Okay, now you want to create this particular data. So what is the format in which I want this data? If I want to create a master, I'm going to create, there are two ways I can create the masters. I can go to tally and directly I can say ALC, I can go and create the masters. I can say or computer factory and create the masters. No, I don't want to do that. I want to directly do this directly from here. Now in this case, what I do, now I need to know for the ledgers to be imported, what the template in which the data has to be available. So let's go to the template of the masters. You remember, this is the template we had, and this is how the data has to be available. Okay, now I just copy this particular first row. Where is my second, this one data? So this is where we had this. Yeah, I'm just going to paste this because this is the template format in which is required. Ledger name parent. Now I have this computer factory. This computer factory, who is the parent? Let's say in this case, the parent should be, let me go to the earlier one and see who was the parent. So if I go here, earlier it was called as computer. Let me see the name. It was called as computer junction. Okay, where was computer junction coming? It must be coming under sundry data. Yeah, it is coming under south data. So I'm just going to copy this. Okay, now what is that I'm going to do? I'm just going to import this masters. So I've got the parent is going to be south data. Okay, now with this now, see there is no computer like this. I may have multiple accounts. All these ledger accounts I can create at one shot. So here I'll just let me call this as ledgers. Okay, because that's the name it's going to read. So I'm going to call this ledgers. This is how I've got. I can have any number of masters at one shot I can create. I'm going to now import this masters. Now, if you see here, import to tally masters, it's already selected the sheet called ledgers. I say, okay. Now this gives a message, which is a company which is open. See created one, which means it's gone and created this computer factory has been created under south data here. Now let me come to tally and cross check that. If I come to alter and I say computer factory, which was not there earlier, now you see it's already created. Okay, this is how by default I can create the masters. Okay, now let me go and import this. I've already imported the transactions. Did we import or we didn't import? I think we didn't import. Yeah, let's go ahead and import this data. This is the data we had. Now we got all this computer, this one. I'm going to import this data. Let me just check once again. I've got DSS. So it means there are no vouchers here. Now I'm going to import the masters. So let me come to the sheet, which has got the vouchers. This is the vouchers I got. Okay. Now what do I do? Come to Tallysoft masters. This is not about masters. Okay. I click this wrongly. I have to click vouchers. I click vouchers. By default, it has taken in inventories because it is the inventories. I say okay. Now it gives the message, which is the company which is open, and also asks you to take a backup. I say okay. Please validate before importing. I say okay. Now it still will validate whether these particular ledgers are all available. Now you should be able to import. Now just see how many vouchers are there. We started at 4:30. Probably it will take about a minute or so to import that 154 vouchers. All this 54, 900 plus rows of transactions. See, it has created 154. So it means it also gives you a summary. What are the type of vouchers which are created? If I want, I can save the statistics. Now, if you see, let's come to tally and cross check whether this has been done. Now you see 154 vouchers have been created in no time. Okay. Now I just want to give you an example. Let me, in that case, let me pick up an example where I just wanted to show you one company who has imported this type of a data. Sales. Using the software, now he got the CA firm got an order to create the books of accounts based on transactions. He said, I can give you the data in a particular format. I'll just show you the format. This is a practical template from one of the companies. Yeah. Now, if you see, this CA bought the software from us, and he said, this is the data format in which the client is able to give me the data. Now, if you see here, it has got the serial number, date of transportation, GST invoice number, name of item, all the data was given to him. Now, he wanted to convert this as a voucher and import to Tally. Now, if you look at the number of rows, we have got 1,629 or 169 vouchers comprising 1,629 rows. Again, we had July in the same format. Okay, probably what I'll do is in the next session, next week, I'm going to cover how this was done, but I'm just giving you an example of how this was. I'm just showing you the input and also the output. I've got this data. Now you see July, August, September, October, which means nearly 4 months. You just look at the number of transactions. Now this is the data which is converted using this template. Okay, so using this template, this is how the data was converted, which means this data was available in this particular format. Okay, which means all the transaction is available with the inventory in one single row. This data was converted using the process, which is that process also I'll show you. Okay, using this process here called as services JVs. Using this process, we're able to convert this data. Now, if you got this, I select the voucher type, voucher number, narration, etc. Not only that, we also added the additional details because we wanted inventory also. And based on that, we're able to import and convert all the data. And he was able to import everything in a few minutes. Now, if you look at all these transactions, June was converted, July, August, September, or if you see the number of transactions, all this, let's say this particular client got the assignment to maintain the books of accounts. See, in this case, you have about 5,406 rows. Now, what he got an Excel sheet. From that Excel sheet, what did he do? He used our software, eTallysoft, and used that option of services JVs. Next week, I'm going to show you how it was done and walk you through step by step, because this will take a little time. So I thought next week, I'm going to show you the demo. This just to show you that how the data can be converted and imported. In this case, all this transaction, let's say for 4 months, he wanted to convert. All this is done in about, let's say 20 to 25 minutes, which means all this about nearly 8,000 transactions were written in the books of accounts based on this Excel sheet inside Tally in about less than half an hour. Now, just imagine if it was done manually for entering this about 8,000 rows. Okay, how much time it would have taken? And if you're charging even 3 rupees or 5 rupees per transaction, you can see how much of the billing you can do. So this is what is the beauty of automation of import of data to Tally. Let me close this and come back again. I want to show in this particular presentation, I want to show you some specific examples. I have another 10 minutes. Okay, we are clear about this, how to import the data?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so this is very simple process. The only important thing is you need to get the data in the right structure. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to give you 2 or 3 examples. I already have some sample data, which is a little complex. Rather than using the formats, I thought I'll take some complex data which is practically used and then show you how it was done. See, I'm opening, there are 4 sheets. This is excellent. Now, if you see here, I got the sales. Last time I showed you the sales in a simple format. This is a little complex. I'll show you how it is complex and I'll also show you how you can convert. If you follow the methodology step by step, you find it becomes very, very simple. Now here, I got the sales in the column ledger name. What does it mean? I'll explain to you in a few minutes. Now, before that, let me show you the simple way. Okay, anything if you understand, it's very simple. That's clear. Okay, let's come to formats. I'm picked up sales. I've got a single rate. I just want to show you the difference between what was done earlier. In the last session, I did this. Now, if you see, we had the sample data pertaining to sales. Okay, add the sales, which was pertaining to various parties. Okay, what is important is to understand what is the structure in which the data is available. Now, if you see here, I need to understand what are the debit and credit, what are the party to be debited, what are the party to be credited, what are the ledger needs to be created. In this case, I know we have already given the name as debit party name. This is service provided to various banks. So this debit party name is given. Voucher type is providing a service to the bank. of verifying, let's say, the credit card or any other customer authentication or KYC verification. It's got the GST, invoice number, invoice date, service charges, output CGST, output IGST, and this is the total amount of the debit. Okay, this is what you should know. So you know, for each of the transactions, the party's name should be debited 14,050, and correspondingly service charges will be credited 12,500, output IGST with 1125, output CGST with 1125. Now in this case, this customer was also using a bill-wise reference. I can also add the bill-wise because you wanted to validate, verify whether the customer is paying on time. Okay, I'm not going to go through the full process. I'll just do a quick conversion of this data and show you how this data can be converted so that can be imported into Tally. So what I do is I pick up the sales. This can be done in multiple ways. Okay, I'll show you in sales. I'll also show you another format. So it's important that you should pick up the right field. What is the voucher number? In this case, when you do the voucher numbering, it's very important to remember that voucher numbering can be done in two ways inside Tally. Let's come to Tally and show you. Because this is where many CS make mistakes in converting the data. Now, if you see here, if I come to vouchers, where is my vouchers? If you come to vouchers, now if you go to Contra, or this for data entry, there's one more account info, and voucher types. Now let me say alter. Now you see here, let me pick up one receipt and see how the voucher numbering is done. It's very important that you get the data right. Now, if you see here, it has been set to manual. You can set it to manual, which means when you set it to manual, whatever number you're given, that will be taken as the voucher number. If you set it to auto, in that case, Tally will take by default, it will ignore what number you're given as a voucher number. It will automatically number by sequentially, it will renumber the vouchers. For example, you already have voucher number 100 and 20. Now, next time when you import, it's going to take from voucher number 121 and import. So ideally, when you're importing, it depends on how you're going to, how do you want to maintain the numbering. The both of the systems have their own advantages and disadvantages. The advantage in the case of manual is you decide what is going to the voucher number, and based on that, you can create the transactions. But in the case of automatic, you don't need to worry about the voucher numbering. Tally will automatically take care. But the problem in that case, the disadvantage in that case is, if you imported a set of vouchers, let's say this particular voucher I've already imported. Now, by mistake, you import the same thing again, Tally will import it. Why? Because it will renumber the vouchers once again. But if you have set it to manual, when we do the validation, our software will check whether there's a duplicate voucher and tell you these voucher numbers already exist. Okay, so you can decide which option you want to use. So here I'm going to take the transaction ID. Okay, ledger name, what is to be debited? Here I know debit party name. Now in this case, it says debit amount will be computed automatically, which means you don't need to select the debit figure. Now I go to the next, this one. Here, what is that I wanted? Here I wanted header as the ledger name. What is that I want here? Service charges is to be debited. Okay, which means what are the header name that will be taken as ledger name. Below that, the amount will be taken as the amount. Okay, here by default it's taken output IGST, output CGST. There is no IG. Do we have IGST? Yes, there is some IGST. Okay, and then I have SGST. There is no cess. That's all. So once I selected this, next you say convert. Please enter the company name because this is important for the purpose of saying this name. Let's say I call it as XYZ company. It's important you should give the name of the company. If you are doing live for a company, you can connect to Tally and connect that company. Okay. Then I say convert data. Now you see all the transactions are converted. Now this is a preview. Okay. This gives you a list of all the transactions which have been converted. For the purpose of demonstration, see, you can look at the statistics. It gives you the complete statistics of all the data which has been converted. Now I want to see the preview. I say preview vouchers. This is where the data is converted into the format in which you want to import. Now you can save this data, browse the folder, save this data, and that's the data which is ready to import. Okay. So in this case, you see what you found is that the ledger name you see here, all this debit and credit have been automatically created. The voucher number has been given, everything has been done. Which means now if I save it, if I got all the ledgers here, automatically I can import this in one shot. I can also do a validation, which means I want to check whether the debit and credit is correct. I can also do that validation. When it's a validate, mandatory data and totals are valid, which means it's already connected. Not only that, in some case now I've already done that, but I just want to validate, I can connect to Tally and I can also do the validation right from here. So when I say connect to Tally, it will connect to Tally and directly it will give me the option to go, and now in this case, if you see, it is already checked the ledger names which are highlighted are not available in Tally. Please create the ledgers in Tally and connect to Tally. Okay, because this is a different company I converted, so these ledger names are not available. Now when I say create ledgers, it gives me the option to create the ledgers. I can go and create the ledgers individually. Now this will be cumbersome job because I've got 100 ledgers. Only if a few ledgers are there, maybe I can give the ledger name, select the parent, add the opening balance, and directly I can create it inside Tally. Okay, instead of that, let me show you how I can do this. What I can do in this case is, let's say I save this file. Let's say I'm keeping desktop only. Okay, and I say save. Now this data will be exported and they say, do you want to import? See, now if you see here, it gives you the complete statistics of the data. Now this is the data which is available. When I say import, it says these ledgers are not available. What do I do in that case? I can just use, these are the ledgers to be created. I just use a pivot table. Okay, based on this particular thing, I create the ledgers, which means pivot table will give me the list of the ledgers which is there. I copy and paste, add the parent name and import it at one shot. Okay, now let me give you one more example. Now this is where I showed you. In this case, what happened? The column name had the ledger name, and below that we had the amount. Okay, in this case, this is where this is a little more complex. In this case, what's happening is now they got sales, but these sales could be of multiple types. Okay, which means I got the sales ledger. Under the sales ledger, I got multiple types. I got UPL hiring. These are 3 transactions. And then I got this hiring. Like that, I got multiple transactions. And I would like the software to dynamically create these ledgers when I do it. Okay, this is what I'm going to demonstrate now, how this can be done. So this is where this is a little more complex compared to this. But if you understand the system, it's very, very simple. So there, what did we do? Let's say we entered the company X by Z. Okay, date, voucher type. What is the voucher type in this case? I got the voucher type. I got the voucher number, which is the serial number. Ledger name, party name is taken directly. Okay, I say next. Now here you see only one difference. There we took header as the ledger name. In this case, what is that I'm going to do? There's something called the sales ledger. Where is my sales ledger? Yes, in the sales ledger, I also have to give for this corresponding sales ledger, where is the amount going to come? The amount is going to come from total sales, which means for each of this amount, I'm going to debit the total sales. So it's very important you know the name of the column. Is the total sales or the total value? Now, actually, this should be the sales value, not the total sales. Yeah, this one. Next, once I've done this, for the other ledgers, I'm taking header as the ledger name. There's nothing here in IGST. Here in CGST, I have to go and select. It's already taken. Here I've got SGST. This is already taken. Now let's say I'm going to convert this. Did we have anything here? Okay, let's convert and see. Okay, now you see individually it has created this particular ledger for each of this. Now let me look at the transactions. Now this gives you the complete 61 lakh rupees worth of transactions. It gives you the GST, etc. Now let me go and look at the preview. Now you see for each of the type of transactions, the party is debited, corresponding UPL hiring is credited. So again, UPL limited. Now you see there are 3 transactions pertaining to UPL hiring. After that, I have this Barucha. Okay, after that, we have different thing, which means although the ledger's names are changing in the rows, by default, it picks up the rows and takes this. Now let's take an example. This CGST I have given here in Tally, this is actually given as CGST 12% or SGST 12%. Okay, or CGST 18%. In that case, what do I do? Simple. Before creating the vouchers, just go and change the column name here. What I gave a CGST, whatever is there in Tally, the same ledger name you can give here. This is how simple it is to convert. I want to show you one more example. Same thing can be done for, let's say, for the purchases. Now, in this case, I got the purchases. Here, I got the ledger name expense. I got different categories of ledger names. Same thing, what I'll do, I'll use the same format, purchases. Now, using this one, I think you should be able to follow how it is done. I pick up the company, let's say ABC. I go to the voucher type. In this case, where is the voucher type? This is the voucher type. Okay, voucher number. Let me give the SR number and the voucher number. Party name. Which is the party name here? Party name is the supplier name, because the supplier is what is going to be credited. See, because it's purchases, automatically it says party name credit, automatically compute the amount. In this case, next, what do I do? Now, this is very important. Column name with the ledger names. What is that I have got? Here, if you see, I got the ledger name as expense. So, ledger name as expense. Okay, I didn't select it. Right now, I have got one more thing. What is that I have got here? What is the amount which belongs here? Now I should be clear. So that's why before selecting, I should know what is to be debited. The total expense is what is to be debited, which means ledger expense, how much I'm going to debit? I'm going to debit the total or the amount. I'm going to debit the amount. Correct? Here I select the amount, right? Next, what do I have to do? Is there IGST here? There is no IGST, CGST, ESGST. Okay, there is no other thing. Anything else? I can also add additional details. Now, if you see here, additional details, I can add the details pertaining to the transaction type, cost center. When I say click on cost center, it will open the details pertaining to cost center. When I say bill wise, it will open the details pertaining to. These are the details which are mandatory in Tally. If I want to add the details pertaining to inventory, I can do it. Okay, I'm not selecting any of this. I just come back here and I say convert data. Now this should be dynamically able to convert. I think I made some mistake somewhere. Where is that next step? Have I selected everything? Okay, I think there is some mistake somewhere. That's why it's not able to convert. Okay. Ledger name expense is correct. Okay, I think when we select this, it's becoming a problem. Okay, so this is how it can be connected. It can be done. I think there is some issue here because I selected this masters. I think what's happening because I selected it by default it's taken 0, and that's why there's some validation error here. Okay, let's do the same thing. Convert, nothing is happening. Okay, let me do one thing. Let's do one thing quickly. I'll close with this last example. Purchase. So I give the name of the company, let's say ABC. Okay, I select the voucher type. So it's very important that you know what exactly is to be debited, what is to be created. You should know how you have created the data. I have got this data. Now there are CA firms who are actually using this. They created different templates for different companies and told the accountant, you just give the data to us in this way. Party name, what I'm going to debit is the supplier name. Okay, and next what do I do? Next, I go to the next one. Here I selected the column name. So in this case, I selected the total ledger name expense. Here I have to select the total expense. Is that total? This is where we had a confusion. Is the total expense or is the total amount? Here, if you look at the total here, we already there. What did we select in the earlier case? Let's see. Ledger name. Okay, here. Okay, 1 minute. Here we selected, okay, okay, the amount is actually computed automatically. So I don't need to bother about the total expense. I have to take the amount here, which means this is the amount which will go to the expense. Okay, this I've done. Next, I have to take the CGST, SGST. So header ledger name, in this case, header ledger name. Now let's convert this data. When I say convert, see now it's converting the data. See, there's some small error. I think these things will not work. I can go to statistics. Now, if you see here, 55,17,684.53. These are transactions for nearly 2.5 months, 240 debits. Okay, number of SGST, everything is given. So I've got all these transactions. What do I do next? I say preview vouchers. Now, let's say you created all this, you wanted to save the configuration. When you save the configuration, let's say you're doing this on a monthly basis for the clients, you don't want to go and select every month. So once you have selected the columns like what we did here, all these columns you selected, you save the configuration. Next time when you open, that will be available here as a configuration. So it means by default, when you open, you select the configuration, automatically the default fields which are there will be selected. So you don't need to go and select it again. When I say preview vouchers, okay, I think something is lost trace here. Field data. So I've got this particular data. Here I say preview vouchers. See, now the data has been converted. Look at the beauty of this. First transaction, debit this drive tracks, this one, credit this particular account. No. In Tally, if it has to come, it has to come in this way. The credit will come first, debit is come first, a second. So I've got all these transactions. Now see, individually based on the specific ledger names available in each of the rows, these transactions have been created. So this is how you can import all these transactions. Now what do I do? Next, you can save this and you are ready to import. In the new feature, what we are doing is we're trying to save in a new file. We are also giving you a default option for you. Do you want to save in the current worksheet? If you say yes, this will be saved in the current worksheet itself. And then you are ready to import. You don't need to import it, save it in a new folder, save it a new name, everything. Automatically, it will be taken. Okay, so now you've seen how you can convert even complex data in a very simple way. I think I'll take another 2 minutes. I just want to show you two beautiful examples. Now here I see I got this particular example. So in this case also we have this, last time I showed the JVs. This JVs is a very important thing. I got the data in this format. You decide depending on the client how you want the data. Okay, I got this data here, ledger name. Let's get the data concept right. What that I wanted here? Here, if you see ledger name, and for that, what is the amount where this one amount is to be taken? Amount is available only in single. Okay. Now this data is not correct, but it requires this one data in 2 places. So it means this format is not right. Okay, so I'm going to the next one, which is this. Now if you see here, I got the debit ledger name, I got the credit ledger name. You create a structure in this way, give this template to your staff, ask them to fill up the data. What will be the number of transactions at the end of the month or at the end of the week when you're uploading, we want to import from Tally. You just do it at one shot. I'm just giving you an example. This one template format where I got the debit and the credit amount. Okay, so in this case, what do I do? Now it can also have one single debit in multiple credits. I'm going to use a format, not the format here. I'm going to use what is called as a map voucher. Now, in this case, I can use a JV format itself. See, this is very, very simple. I just go here. Once you understand, this is very, very simple. Okay, I pick up the voucher number. No, I picked up wrongly. Voucher type is voucher type. Okay, I got the voucher number, which is serial number. Narration, I can give that. In this case, debit ledger name. What is the amount for that? I've already given that is the debit amount. Credit ledger amount, I already give it as the credit amount. Okay, that's all. I say convert data. Please enter the name of the company. You always tend to forget this. Let's say ABC. Okay, and as a convert data. Now you see for each of this will be converted. The debit and credit is converted, and it's ready to import. Now I can look at the statistics, check whether the data is correct and complete. So this is how I can import this data with this format. Now let me show you one more last format. Now I've got this data. Now here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the format of map vouchers. In this case, what happens? I've got the debit. I'm going to pick up the voucher number. Yeah, voucher number, voucher type. Now in this case, what's happening? I got the debit and the credit ledger. So debit ledger is, which is the ledger name. Credit ledger is the party ledger name. Okay, amount is given only once. And then I say, what do? I say, okay, now here you see in map vouchers, it doesn't ask for conversion. It just saves it, creates all the data and it's available in one shot in Tally. And now it's ready to import. And this is how you can import the data into Tally. I hope you got a good understanding of how this can be used. I think we have spent some time. Yeah. So next time I think I'm going to come back and come with more practical examples of how you can. With some more examples, I'm going to cover some more details, some more types of vouchers.
Yes. Thanks a lot, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Bye.